Banks provide an essential role in our economy by channeling capital to businesses. To illustrate, we will break the economy into three groups: the banks, the savers, the borrowers, and the government.
Say, Destiny, did I tell you that I was thinking about opening up a barbershop?
No, you never mentioned that before. That's amazing news, George. When do you plan to open it?
In about 3 months. I need about $30,000 to buy equipment and to lease a building and to cover all the overhead. Say, Destiny, do you think maybe I could borrow some money from you? You said last week that you had about $5,000 extra lying around?
Well, I would like to help you, George, but I don't know anything about the barber business. What if I want to use that money to buy something else or pay for an emergency? I actually decided that after our meal, I was going to go deposit it at the bank. At least there, I can withdraw it whenever I want, and they pay me interest. George, why don't you just borrow your money from the bank? If you want, I could introduce you to Ellie. She's a terrific banker and a really good friend of mine. And if your loan makes sense, I'm sure she could give you all the money you need.
Wow. Would you introduce me?
Yeah, no problem.
So when do you want to go?
How about now?
Yeah, terrific. Let's go.
Terrific.
Hey, Destiny. What brings you to the bank today?
I want to deposit a check, but first I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is George, and George, this is my favorite banker, Ellie.
Thank you for the compliment. It's a pleasure to meet you, George.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. You come highly recommended.
George here is opening up a barber shop, and I've known him for years, so I know he's super honest and he's really hardworking, and I'm sure he'll do well.
Well, thank you for the referral. Oh, do you want me to take care of your deposit? No need to wait in the long teller line.
Yes, that would be great, actually. I'm in a bit of a hurry, so here's a check, and I'll drop by later to pick up the receipt. So take care and good luck.
Thanks, Destiny.
Thanks, Destiny.
Sit down, George.
Thank you.
I'd like to learn more about you, your barber shop, and your banking needs.
Good news! Ellie approved George's loan and he opened his barbershop. More importantly, this shows how Destiny's money can be used productively in the economy to expand businesses. Destiny didn't want to invest in George's business, but in a way she did. Did Ellie use Destiny's cash to lend to George? Not directly, but it's the bank's role to use other people's savings and channel it into productive investments that help the economy grow. Bankers furnish the expertise to evaluate whether a business is viable and worth the risk. Destiny doesn't have that expertise. Banks have the resources to collect a defaulted loan. Destiny doesn't want to get into the collection business and ruin her friendship with George. Did Ellie take cash from the bank's vault and deposit it directly into George's account? No, she did not need to do that. Instead, George opened an account, giving him access to the funds he needed, and she credited his account. She knew that it was very unlikely that George, Destiny, and her other depositors would want to withdraw their cash from her bank on the same day. In fact, Ellie's bank lends about 10 times more than they have in reserves. And few would know, except the government, if the bank doesn't have enough reserves to meet its daily needs. This is called a fractional banking system. A fractional banking system is a banking system that results in growth in the money supply because banks are only required to keep a fraction of their deposits on reserve. The rest can be loaned to spur economic growth.
The government has sent me here to audit your books. We are concerned that the quality of your loans may jeopardize the financial health of your bank. If more loans go into default, you will not have enough in reserves, and right now you're down to 8%. You must become more stringent in your lending practices.
I understand. We do not expect the local economy to weaken. Christina, I'm concerned that if word got out about this in the public, we would risk a bank run.
I don't agree. There would be some concern, but today is not like during the 1930s. The federal government will back you. First, we are your lender of last resort, so if you need to borrow additional liquidity, you may borrow it from us. Furthermore, depositors know their deposits are secured by FDIC up to $250,000, so they will probably not be lining up at your doors to withdraw their money. We will get through this, Ellie.
I sure hope so.
The fractional banking system, where banks are able to lend more than they have on reserve, really provides an incentive for aggressive banks to lend more and take larger risks than they should. After all, interest income is the bank's primary source of income. This can lead to a financial crisis if banks become too greedy, and is one reason why banks are highly regulated. The central bank is responsible for overseeing the banking system and stepping in to prevent banks from becoming overzealous. Sometimes, as with the financial crisis in 2008, they do not anticipate every problem. However, most economists agree that the aggressive move by the Federal Reserve to increase liquidity in the economy helped prevent an even worse crisis. But just as importantly, since 1933, when the FDIC was established, no depositor has lost a single penny that was deposited in a bank insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
To learn more, please visit our website for our free economics lessons at www.higherrockeducation.org. All our lessons include text, interactive exercises, review questions, and a related scripture lesson. Thank you.